Hi, my name is Counsel and welcome to video 5 in the Mastering Money series. And today we're going to look at this idea of developing more effective thinking loops. So remember in the last video I talked about much of the work that needs to be addressed is really addressing what's happening within the subconscious mind. And there's a list of things there, but I especially want to draw your attention to the last one there, which is thinking loops that actually prevent change from taking place. Now, what I mean by this, let's say that you have a situation or an idea that says something like, look, I'd really like to branch out and start mastering your $1 million code. And then when you start thinking that, perhaps another thought comes to mind, something like, well, I don't know, I think it's going to be a bit too hard. Or you've got this little internal voice that says, I think it's just going to be too difficult and it's really too much hassle. And then another little thought comes to mind that says, oh, look, I don't know whether I could actually do it. I might fail. Now, when you start producing a whole process of thoughts like that, you've got to understand that what that leads to is emotion. And the way that our internal system is actually set up is that the emotions that you create are designed to actually reinforce your thinking. So if you have thoughts that it's too hard or you don't know how or it's too much hassle or even, the fact that you might not even succeed, then think about the emotions that those thoughts are going to produce and then think about the behavior that then those emotions are responsible for. And it's the behavior that seems to be somewhat wanting. And when you think about behavior, if behavior really drives results, if the behavior is a little bit wanting, think about the beliefs that are then created as a result of that behavior. And now think about what sort of models or what subconscious models those beliefs create. Are they really empowering models that have you progressing forward, or are they sort of like contractionary models that have you always sort of, getting to a certain point and then finding a way to self-sabotage? And then think about, well, okay, so what are those subconscious models that we talked about in earlier videos? What sort of results are they currently producing? Now, if you're getting the results that are less than satisfactory for you, if you're not really getting the results that you want, then you've got to start thinking about what the models, beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and thoughts are that precede those results. Because it's those results that then form what I call an internal feedback mechanism. And if you consistently measure yourself against, old results and past experiences, then that feedback mechanism is going to guarantee that you create a set of habits. And again, it's those habits are going to produce another set of thoughts, and around and around and around we go within that thinking loop. And that's thinking loop is really responsible for your current results. I mean, it's the thinking loop that's responsible for your results in health. It's the results in finances. It's the results in relationships. It's the results in business. And I call those, thinking loops, signature thinking loops. Now, again, if you're not getting the results that you want, you've got to start thinking about the signature thinking loop that's actually responsible for those results, and then seeing whether or not you're prepared to change those results. Because as Buckminster Fuller said, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, he said, you've got to build new models that make the existing models obsolete. And so just by way of example, let's build a new model that makes the existing signature thinking loops obsolete. And we've got to start from the point of new clarity. New clarity in terms of what's important for you. New clarity in terms of understanding the processes of moving from point A to point B. New clarity in terms of understanding you've got to build foundations. New clarity in terms of understanding getting access to more information. And with that new clarity, you've got to really aim it at profit strategies. And earlier I said that we really do need this mindset change and then real-world strategies that are designed to directly target the profitability that you want. And from that process, there's a process of implementation, and the more systemized that implementation becomes, then the more success that you'll actually gain on your way. And when you start working through the environment of people that already have the results that you want, what you can do is tap into their blueprints of extraordinary achievement, because they've got the results that you want, and so they've got the blueprints. And a lot of people then want to take on very, very supportive environments. And some people, think about all of the successful people in the world. Think about all the successful athletes. They've all got mentors. They've all got coaches who are really skilled in getting the best performances, both, internally and externally from those people. So you might want to start thinking about taking on a mentor within the results that you wish to obtain for yourself, because it's that mentor now who's got the blueprints for extraordinary achievement, because they've already got the results. Then they can help you refine your results. They can help you refine your money capabilities, or in fact they can help you refine what's really, really important for you. And it's with those new capacities, it's with those new capabilities, it's with the increase in self-efficacy that new insights are actually achieved. And it's with those new insights that you're then able to go on and start to really get the new results that are important for you. And I guess one of the most critical things that happens when you start developing new signature thinking loops is that you now have new possibilities for influencing everything that's important to you. So with new influence possibilities, you can influence outcomes, you can influence the skill sets that you can take on board, you can influence people, you can influence those processes that allow you excuse me, to get the best results that you get. And when you start thinking about that and putting it all together in a new thinking loop, then you start to realize that that's where your potential lays. And when you look at the work of Viktor Frankl, he said that a human being is a deciding being. When we're no longer able to change a situation, he said, we're challenged to change ourselves. And I think that's one of the secrets to success, is that there's so many people that try and change the situation that they're in, but sometimes you really just cannot change the situation. And if you understand the story of Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning, then what he elected to do was to change himself. And as soon as he changed himself, of course, the whole outlook of everything changed for him. So that's all for me from this video. So stay tuned for video 6. We'll start talking about this need to align your critical faculty. So until then, it's bye for me.